Shalom. Good morning, saints. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Our freezing cold rain is over. We're going to get a high at 60. We had a frost. I don't know if you should be able to see that on the grass. And everybody's hungry. Sister Kate's a little late this morning. I was reading an article by some National Geo photographers who are going to different areas of the country and talking to people there about what it means to them to live in this democracy. Now, you guys are astute. Crew members, you guys are on top of things. And I hope as soon as I said that thing, you went, what? Because guess what, folks? We don't live in a democracy. That's right. We do not live in a democracy. For all of you who are paying attention in history class, what do we live in? We live in a democratic republic. Well, if you didn't listen and learn in history class, there's a difference. A democracy means the majority rules. Well, Sister Kate, what does the majority rules mean? It means at any given time, the majority of the people are making the decisions. Like, I'll give you a really silly setup. Let's pretend 51% of the people decide we can only buy milk on Tuesday. That becomes the rule. Only on Tuesdays can we go buy milk. Because 51% of the people said that's what they wanted. That's a democracy. That is not what we live in. We live in a democratic republic. What does that mean? It's got the word democratic in it. What that means is we are 50 individual states. So you guys know that. Well, how do you get 50 individual states to agree on anything? You don't. So what our government did, which is brilliant, and Alexander Hamilton is one of the people who had a big hand in forming the government after the revolution, is they designed a system in which nobody has the majority. Nobody has complete and absolute power under our form of government. They designed it so that there are checks and balances for everything. That's why there's 3 branches, executive, legislative, and judicial. That's why there's state governments and a federal government, because they all have to share the power. No particular group gets to control everything. And so these photographers going around talking to people about the democracy they live in, although taking wonderful pictures and no doubt having wonderful experiences and learning from talking to people about their individual lives and how they're going, are also spreading the misinformation that they live in a democracy. And their conclusion, the photographers, who really were being photojournalists, because it's like they have a story going on here. We're talking to Americans about being an American. Is that the biggest difference in the country right now is those who have and those who do not have. And that is where the communists start their platform of, well, we all need to be equal. We all need to be getting equal things. No, not in America. It's not a guarantee. That's why when you come to America, you got to be willing to fight. What are you doing over there, you little stinker? Well, somebody found their way out of the pen and somebody's still in the pen. All right, I got to fix that. Oh, so what was I saying? Oop, nose is running. The government's job is not to guarantee everyone economic equality. Our government's job is to protect you, make sure you have roads, so your access is unhindered, to protect you, to keep a standing army, to defend the nation, and to make sure that the nation runs. There's nothing in the Constitution guaranteeing you health care, guaranteeing you any kind of income. The whole welfare thing came around in the 30s during the Depression. But when the economy is not depressed and it's humming along, what the government guarantees is the playing field is there for you to then try to be as successful as you can be. It's not to keep you down. The government doesn't have a part in keeping you down. This is a meritocracy also. People who come up with a good idea and work hard to make that idea a reality succeed. And you guys would say, oh, you know, that's only came from their grandfather. I'm trying to remember the name. It's not Vanderbilt. It's the Scottish guy. He started selling stuff when he was 8 years old, and he was living on the street. He sold stuff, and then he sold more stuff, and then he got educated, and he made a business, and then he made that business bigger. Vanderbilt started out ferrying people to New York City from New Jersey in his own boat. Like, someone paid him to go to the city, and he would row them across the river. And then he just expanded that. He bought more boats. Then he bought steamboats when they came out. Then he started running stagecoach access, and then he extended that out. That's all it is. It's an idea and your hard work. And in America, anybody succeed. Anybody can succeed. And I use Tyler Perry as an example these days. He was, as you know, just as poor as anybody else growing up, but he had an idea, and he started writing plays and musicals and movies, and then he started producing them. And they're not great quality. You know, he didn't have all the money in the world to hire the top tier actors and actresses, but they were good quality, solid work. And he kept at it, and he kept at it, and he made money, and he made money. And you guys can laugh and say, well, the Medea character, you know, big guy dressed as an old woman, whatever. That's not the only movies and plays that he did, and some of his plays that I've watched, musicals, have very good music in it. So that's what our government guarantees you. Stop trying to live off somebody else and live your own life and be successful. All right, bless you. Shalom.